Tulip's sharing lesson. Tulip was the brightest and most cheerful flower in the garden. Her red petals sparkled in the sunlight, and she loved being the center of attention. Every morning, Tulip gathered with her friends, Orchid, Violet and Wallflower, by the garden's watering station to play games and share stories. One morning, Tulip discovered something extraordinary. Near the watering station lay a shiny golden watering can, sparkling like a treasure in the sunlight. Tulip's petals fluttered with excitement as she picked it up. "Look at this!" she exclaimed, holding it high. "It's perfect for me. My petals are going to look even more dazzling." Her friends rushed over. Orchid admired the can's shiny surface. Violet loved how it reflected rainbows in the sunlight. And Wallflower said, "Wow, Tulip, can we take turns using it?" Tulip froze. She liked her friends, but this watering can was special. "Oh, maybe later," she said, clutching it tightly. "I just found it, so I should use it first." As the day went on, Tulip watered herself again and again. Her petals shimmered brighter than ever, but her friends grew tired of waiting. Orchid frowned. "Tulip, it's not fun if you keep it all to yourself." Violet nodded. "We're supposed to share, remember?" Wallflower added quietly. "The gardener always says that sharing helps everyone grow." But Tulip didn't want to listen. "It's my watering can. I'll share later, okay?" she said, turning away. Her friends sighed and walked off to play without her. At first, Tulip didn't care. She had the watering can and her petals looked fabulous. But as the hours passed, the garden felt much quieter. Tulip realized she missed the laughter and chatter of her friends. That evening, Tulip sat alone under the golden rays of the setting sun. She looked at the watering can and felt a twinge of guilt. "Why didn't I share?" she whispered to herself. "I didn't even give them a turn." Tulip knelt down and prayed, "Dear God, I messed up. I didn't share like you teach us to. Now my friends are upset and I'm all alone. Please help me do better and make things right." As she prayed, a warm golden glow surrounded her, and she felt a peace she hadn't felt all day. The next morning, Tulip woke up with a renewed spirit. She spotted the gardener walking nearby and decided to ask for advice. The gardener, a kind soul with gentle hands and a soft smile, knelt beside her. "Tulip," the gardener said, "this watering can is special, but it's not just for one flower. When you share, you bring joy to others and help the garden grow beautifully. God gives us blessings so we can share them, not keep them all to ourselves." Tulip nodded, feeling the truth in the gardener's words. "I understand now," she said. "I want to make it right." Tulip gathered her friends together and held out the watering can. "I'm sorry for not sharing," she said. "I was selfish, but I want everyone to have a turn now." Her friends smiled, their petals perking up. Orchid was the first to take a turn, followed by Violet and Wallflower. As they used the watering can, laughter and joy filled the garden once more. By the end of the day, Tulip felt happier than ever. Not because her petals sparkled, but because her heart felt full. "Sharing is better than keeping things to myself," she thought. "It's how we grow together, just like the gardener said." From that day on, Tulip became the champion of sharing in the garden. She reminded everyone of the memory verse her gardener had taught her. "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves." Philippians 2:3. And so the garden blossomed, not just with beautiful flowers, but with love and kindness too. Memory verse: do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves. Philippians 2:3.